Okay, it says we're live, so Tanya's just going to make sure we're live so we can start seeing your comments. Let's hope we're not frozen. Alright, I see some people joining. Awesome. So if you can see us and everything's working on our end, please comment below. Let us know that you can see us and everything's working.
It's working now.
Awesome. Alright, so I'm back here with my best friend Tanya. You guys have missed her. She's crazy. She says a lot of things that are not the wisest. But we have a lot of fun. She's probably my favorite person to have in a video. So she's back, and we're probably going to make a fool of ourselves tonight. But you know what, you guys? We are prepared for the most part. We cut our ribbons. We're going to work with 21-inch mesh. Hi, Laura. Awesome. I'm glad it's working. So let me zoom in a little bit, and you can see the products we're using. We're going to be working with the sign. I've had it for a couple of years. A few years ago, I really disliked the color emerald green for some reason, and I was team lime green. This year, I'm mixing it up. I really like emerald green, and I'm using less lime green, more emerald this year. So we're going to be using this. This came from Hobby Lobby. For those of you that are interested in purchasing it, it was $12, and the item number is HL9135035. So we're going to be using this sign. It has red, white, and emerald green. We're going to be using a standard 15 to 24-inch work wreath. I picked this up at Hobby Lobby last year. Since I have so many of these, I'm going to work with this. It's not my favorite wreath form to work with. I prefer either Trendy Trees or Craft Outlets for the fact that they're less pokey, and they seem to be more even and consistent with the amount of twist ties. So that's why we're just gonna use this because I have so many of them. But again, if you want to purchase anything from Trendy Tree, you can use the coupon code NSD in all caps, and you can save yourself 10%. So we're gonna work with this. What we also have today is basic Deco Mesh right here. Let's see. I think the camera's slipping a little bit. There we go. So we have this. We're going to work with this. It was $15.99 from Hobby Lobby. And yeah, they carry this at Christmas time. I think they have a version like this that you can purchase year-round as well. That goes 50% off every other week. Let's just keep an eye on the camera because it looks like it's sliding a little bit. That'd be a shame if the Mevo dropped. But, you know, you just keep an eye on it and I'll keep talking. All right? So we're going to work with this ribbon today. We cut this 18 inches in length. It is a 50-yard spool from Craft Outlet. The item number for this is CH0709-134. We are also using Sam's Club ribbon today. It's my favorite for cost reasons. We're working with this 1.5-inch sheer emerald green. It's pretty hard to find emerald green ribbon, but you know, this is something you can always find, whether it be Jacobson Floral or Sam's Club. They always carry something like this. And then last year, I don't know if they carry it this year, but last year they had this, which is kind of striped on either side. It's red and emerald green. This is a 25-yard spool. And the weird thing about this ribbon is that the wire's in the middle, which is kind of unusual. But I like this ribbon as well. So we're working with this 18 inches, the red 18 inches, and the green we cut around 25 to 26 inches just because we're going to create little bows with it. So let's get started. Hi, you guys. Thanks for the shares. Hello, Nick and Tanya. Great to see you both. I know, it's been a long time. I don't remember the last time you did a video. So we're just opening up the twists right now. I find it much easier to work with when it's opened up. So that's what we're going to do. Actually, there's a roll of 10-inch emerald green mesh over there. Do you see it somewhere?
Like over there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see it?
Is it like shiny color?
Yeah, it's that green color though. So we'll also add some emerald green mesh to this. It's metallic, heavy foil, so it's the premium mesh. We are working with basic, and I do want to hide that a little bit more. Yep. So we're going to work with some of that. Thank you. Let's zoom out a little bit so they can see our bright and shining faces. You're not ready for Christmas yet. I was ready
in January.
Yeah, I did a Christmas in July group. I'm always Christmas ready. A lot of people aren't, though, and I understand that. Well, I don't, but because I'm always ready for Christmas. But I think Christmas Day is my saddest day of the year. Because it's a whole other year.
Oh, yeah.
Till Christmas time. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to work with our 21-inch mesh. 420 people. Awesome. So this mesh also has some white, which I think matches the sign perfectly. So that's a plus. I hate when they tape them.
How many trees do you have?
Well, I was supposed to start filming my trees like 2 months ago because, you know, we're getting to the busy season. But things got crazy this year, which is why you guys haven't seen too much of me. But I have a 12-foot tree. I have 3 7.5-foot trees. One of those trees is your standard flock tree. One of them is multicolored lights, but also plain white lights. It's a Martha Stewart tree, so it kind of has the best of both worlds, even though I only use the white lights. And then I have 2 pencil trees as well. But I don't know if we're going to be able to do that all this year, because that's a lot to handle. So what I'm doing is I'm creating roughly 10-inch poofs. You guys know the whole shebang. Spiel. I don't know what the word is, but as you can see, this mesh is not amazing quality, but once we add the emerald green and work in our 3 ribbons, it will be fine. How's the quality, you guys? Give me a thumbs up if the video is looking okay. Sometimes we have trouble with the Mevo, which kind of makes me nervous going live from it, which is why we've been using my iPhone lately. So as you can see, I'm not measuring my poofs. In my exclusive Wreath community, I kind of stopped doing that as well. I think just eyeballing it, if it looks right to you, chances are it's going to look perfectly fine once you're done. And this shows why I don't really like the Hobby Lobby forms. One twist tie is right here, the other one's only 2 inches away, the next one's 5 inches away. It doesn't really make a huge difference, but I just like them to be a little bit more perfect. But yeah, you know, start getting into the habit of just eyeballing it. I mean, if you don't feel comfortable doing that, of course you can sit there and measure out 10-inch poofs.
Deborah asked, how's the weather here?
Cold.
It's really cold now.
It's getting cold. We had 2 days this week that were like, what, 80 degrees?
Yeah, it was weird.
It was weird, and then now it's like 50s. But it's been pretty rainy.
And it gets darker out now.
Yeah, I know. I think next weekend's daylight savings time. When's daylight savings time, you guys? I think it's next weekend. I'm not sure. But that, I think it's fall back, spring forward, I think. So we're going back. We're losing an hour of sleep.
Yeah.
So it's going to start getting dark at like 6.
Yeah. Someone said the close-up is nice, but miss seeing your faces.
We'll be, when we add the ribbons, I'm just trying to show you guys how we add the mesh. But when we add the ribbons and we start talking and Tanya starts saying crazy things, you'll be able to see our faces and my reactions to the crazy things that she says. So give it time.
Are you putting it on the inside and outside?
Yep, so I worked all of it on the inside, and now I'm working all of it on the outside. I don't want to save this roll, so we'll get as far as we can get, and then if we have some left over, what I'll do is I'll just work it back into the twist ties.
Oh, someone said we gain an hour of sleep.
I don't know. I think we lose an hour of sleep, don't we?
No, because then it goes forward.
Spring forward.
It goes forward.
Fall. Oh, yeah, so... Yeah. All right, so we're starting with our stupid things early. Yeah, we gain an hour of sleep. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. We're so dumb. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I still have about a quarter of a roll. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into the twist and add it. Should I add it to the outside or the inside? Outside, inside. We'll do outside. We'll just go back in and add it to the outside. Reason for this being I don't like to have a bunch of partial rolls in my house. I used to like it and save it for other projects, but when you start splurging and buying a bunch of mesh and you have 50 open rolls, you kind of get sick of it. So we'll just bulk this up a little bit. If this was premium mesh, there would be no point for this because it's not see-through. But since this is a little see-through, we'll double up. You see how quick this is, you guys? I think this is the most difficult technique, personally, just because you don't want your poofs to be too drastic. The ruffle and the curl method are a lot easier, in my opinion. But once you practice this a couple times, you can easily throw them together in 10 minutes or so, if you work really, really fast.
Someone asked, where can you get the best quality mesh?
Trendy Tree, Craft Outlet. In all honesty, sometimes Hobby Lobby carries good seasonal mesh. I've worked with the red. I don't know if you guys can see it behind me. Well, you can't, but I have a Wreath behind me that we used Hobby Lobby mesh. But that's the heavy foil, which is about $15.99 a roll. Did we double this one? Nope, so we'll just add another one. Okay, almost there. Seems to be a big roll. We'll just come back into the inside.
Laurel said, how many wreaths do you make throughout the Christmas season?
It truly depends. Last year, not as many as I'd like, for the reason I was in school full-time every day. And then Saturdays I did home talk, my exclusive wreath community, and the fresh season. So not as many as I'd like. I like to crank out Christmas wreaths starting July for sale, but as you guys can see, I don't have many wreaths for sale at this point. I just haven't been able to produce as many as I'd like. Okay, almost out of the mesh. I will not be at the convention. No, I'm sorry.
Tammy said, are you still doing home talk?
I'm going to be working with home talk again. It's going to be a recorded video. But we're not doing lives anymore like we used to do. But that was fun while it lasted. Do you remember home talk videos? You were here for one.
Was that? Oh, yes,
We did the bow video.
Yeah. Didn't Bella help you?
I think so, yeah. Bella was my videographer back then. All right, you guys. This is what we have. Let me cover Tanya's face. Let's see. Put your head through it. There we go. They can't see.
Oh, they can't.
No, they can't see. All right. So how pretty is that? I think it's really pretty. Even though it's basic mesh, you can't really see through it. It's quite poofy. All right. So before we add the sign, we will add the ribbon. So let's get that out of the way. Yeah, do you want to hand me one out of, like, one cluster of 3? Oh, wait, never mind. We're going to do the
green mesh.
The green mesh. We're going to add some premium Deco Mesh now. So I'll move this to the side. Is my rotary cutter over there somewhere?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how much we'll get out of, so we should have, I'll do 8-inch pieces. So I'm going to cut it at the 10 and the 18-inch mark. You might think I'm crazy for that, but I'm left-handed, and the board has a little hole in it for when they hang it at the store, and it always gets in my way. And the reason we're cutting them so small is because we already created a wreath using this mesh, and also it's not see-through, so you're not going to be able to see it. So glad I caught this live. Me too. Alright, we need 18 of those.
I'm gonna keep track of these this time.
Yeah, you guys know Tanya always messes up counting. Me too, I get so distracted.
And they all bunch up, so like you think there's more than, or less than there is.
How is your grandma, Nick? She's awesome. She's crazy, but we love her, and she's the best. But do you guys see the difference between premium mesh and basic Deco Mesh? I think there's a huge difference.
18, right?
Yep. 630 people. Awesome. Keep the shares coming, you guys. Let's see if we can reach 1,000 for Tanya's comeback.
I lost track.
You lost track. Tanya.
Hold on, I got this. 3, 14, 15.
16, 17, 18, right?
Yeah, so 3 more.
3 more still?
Yeah.
Did you count the 3 I placed down there?
Yeah.
Okay. We frozen?
Nope. It's going.
Okay, so this should be it. Let's get to adding it to the wreath now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a simple curl. So this is why I only cut them 8 inches long. As you can see, you can't see through it at all. And we'll just open up each twist and we'll place this as far down as it can go. And we'll kind of pull them out towards the outside. I'm using a 15 to 24 inch work wreath. Nick, you're my favorite wreath maker to watch. They're always beautiful. Thank you. Tanya, who's your favorite wreath maker? If you don't say me, you're leaving. Like right this second.
You.
There we go. So do you guys remember that video Tanya did with me when she made a bow? I went to her house a couple weeks ago. And I went to get a water out of the fridge. And right on the front of the fridge is a huge bow. No pictures of her on the fridge, but her mom decided to hang up a bow she made right on her fridge.
Still there. Right now.
You did that, what, like 6 months ago?
Yeah. It was for your 100,000
Was it?
video, yeah.
Do you ever use a Deco Mesh tubing, and do you like working with it? That's another great question. I used to love it and swear by it, and then I got sick of it. I used it so much for my Halloween wreaths and my Christmas wreaths that I was just kind of sick of looking at it. So I have cases and cases of it. What?
The tubing?
Yeah. It's right under you. Do you see it? I have one case of black tubing under you.
Oh, in that tub?
Yeah. But I'm just sick of looking at it. Alright, so this is what it looks like so far. It's not going to be as poofy once we add the ribbons and the sign, but it just enhances it a little bit. Now we're going to work with this around the outside. Again, opening the twist so it's not quite so poofy. And then we'll add the ribbons.
Elaine said, what about her helping with the curls?
I don't know if she has the strength for that. Do you?
No, I think she meant I did it in the past, but did I?
I don't know. Here, do you want to make one?
Wait, so how do you do it?
So you just take it. For those of you that don't know how to do this, just take it and roll it on itself like that.
Oh.
You're not going to want to get what I call the cannoli effect, which is raw edges showing like that. Perfect. So just hold that. I'll place it in. Good job, Tanya. Let's give her a thumbs up for that. There we go. Perfect. Tanya always tells me she's here for motivational support and to embarrass herself. And I'm like, Tanya, you do both of those perfectly.
Perfectly. Right. Oh, it's a little too big.
Yeah, a little too big. We'll just cut that back a little bit. Okay. Almost done with these. Only a couple more left. Perfect. All right, read some of the comments.
Glenda said, "Where are you from?" We're from Boston.
Rowley.
Rowley. Oh, they know.
They know. We're from Massachusetts.
Rowley, Mass.
Which is why we might seem a little weird to the rest of the world.
It's a small town.
Very small town. You guys might not think Rowley's country, but, you know, in Rowley, there's probably more cows and horses than there are people. We come from a town with, like, 5,000 population. All right. There we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the ribbons. So do you want to hand me one cluster of each? There we go. Should we add the bow tie? We'll add the bow ties after. How's that sound? So now what we're doing is we're adding 2 ribbons. We're adding the 2.5 underneath the 1.5, and these are cut both at 14 inches. The reason we cut them so long is because we're not going to be adding picks and ornaments and decorations in that sense. So we cut a little bit longer to make up for that. I grew up in Western Mass. Awesome. There we go.
I like the red ribbon.
Me too.
Hi, Denise.
Hi, Denise. I just saw that.
Me too.
So I'm only able to see a couple comments at a time, actually one comment at a time, and they're kind of like spread out. So that's why I keep looking over to see if I can catch anything. New York City. Yeah, everybody let us know where you're from. I love to see where everybody's from. So warm in, is that Georgia, I believe?
Yeah, Hartwell, Georgia.
Hartwell, Georgia. I grew up in Fall River.
Still in shorts. I wish
Fall River?
I could.
Who's from Fall River? Lizzie Borden? I think so.
Is that in Mass?
I think so. No. Yeah, Mass.
Mass.
Fall River. I think it's near the Cape, if I'm correct. I don't know. Utah. Awesome. Keep those comments coming in, you guys. I love to see where everybody's from.
Someone said Byfield.
Byfield. Awesome.
Hi, neighbor.
Hi, neighbor. Literally, hi, neighbor.
That's what they said to us.
All right, so before we fluff them, we're just going to place them into the wreath. And we'll fluff everything after we add the sign because it does get a little sloppy when you add the sign. Wisconsin. Let's see if we can get all 50 states tonight. You gonna hand me them?
Yes, I got caught in the comments.
I told you, we get distracted so easily, everybody. South Carolina.
Oh, Fall River is on the border of Rhode Island.
Yeah, so it's a good distance away from us. We're only about 15 minutes away from New Hampshire. Two towns over, right?
What?
3 towns over to Seabrook.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 3 towns over from New Hampshire. From Ohio? I was just in Ohio.
Fort Worth.
Fort Worth. We'll be in Texas again in January. Okay, what, 3 or 4 more, I think. All right, a couple more.
Is there another red underneath here? Oh, yeah, it just fell.
Oh,
Under
it
the
did?
Mevo, yeah.
Yeah, watch out for the Mevo, though.
Yeah. I'm going to be very careful.
It's like the leaning... My Mevo's like the Leaning Tower of Pisa right now. I was talking to you guys in the beginning, and that's why I stopped talking, because I looked up and the Mevo's slowly sliding down. Chicago, Illinois. I was in Illinois 2 weeks ago, too. Illinois is beautiful. Oh, we don't even need that one, Tanya. Maybe we miscount?
No, there's one right here.
No, like I don't think even... Wait, are we
maybe.
missing one?
I don't know.
I don't think so. No, we're not even missing one.
Oh.
All right. I don't even know if we need these at this point.
Oh, the greens?
Yeah, I don't think we need them. You?
No.
Yeah, I don't think we need the
visible,
emerald green, you
yeah.
guys. Since it's so sheer, I don't think you're going to be able to see it. All right, do I have a nail gun? Not a nail gun. A stapler.
No.
I have it somewhere.
Is it in the other room?
No, it should be on the table somewhere. Under here, maybe? Nope. Behind me?
No.
Where does the stapler go? Maybe it's over there in that little caddy thingy.
Caddy thingy.
We have a stapler on the loose, you guys.
What caddy?
Oh, you're way past the caddy at this point.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna go check. No, it wouldn't be in the other room, would it?
No. All right, I guess we're not going to staple it. We'll just attach it like this, which is fine. You guys will get the point. You guys are smart people. I have family and friends in Tilton. Awesome. So I'll just zip tie it for time's sake.
Jeannie said stapler is MIA.
It is MIA
And
right
it
now.
is.
That's so weird. Where'd my stapler go? All right. Who cares? I'll just zip tie it. I grab a pipe cleaner instead of a zip tie. I think we're actually crazy. Oh, I found it.
Yay!
I found it. It was underneath a wreath and some ribbon. So we're going to be stapling it. We're using 1/4-inch staples and a arrow staple gun. And let me zoom in so you guys can see what I'm doing. And this sign's thick enough that the staples aren't going to go through. So what I like to do is I like to take the streamer and I like to just staple that onto the wreath. That way it's out of sight, out of mind. And also, if my customer decides I want to take it off, they can use it elsewhere. Place a couple staples there. I know, the lost stapler. It's so funny when you do lives and like things like that happen, because like 2 months down the line, somebody's going to comment saying, lost stapler, and I'm going to be like, what are they talking about, you know? So I'll do 3 staples. Come back to our wreath. Thank you. Almost 700 people. Keep the shares coming, you guys. If you like this wreath and want to tune back in when it's closer to the Christmas season, if you're not feeling the holiday spirit at this point, and you share it to your own timeline, you can always refer back to it there. Or if you just want to help support me, shares really do help. So what I'm doing now is I'm just feeding the wire, the pipe cleaner, through so I can attach the sign. Let's see if that's to my liking. That's good enough. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pull back our ribbons.
You fluffing it?
Yep, do you want to help me fluff?
Yes.
So the reason we use... What was I saying?
You said, so now I'm going to be pulling apart the ribbon.
No, I
The
forget what I was...
reason we
Oh, the
use-
reason... the reason we use the same color work wreath is because when you add all your materials to it, you don't have to remove the twist ties. And that's not the same thing for if you're making your own work wreath. You guys know that if I'm ever making my own work wreath to save money, I always remove the pipe cleaners. I think pipe cleaners are kind of a sign of DIY, and when you're creating an elegant designer wreath, you never really want to see anything that can kind of hint at DIY, so your customers don't think they're kind of getting juked with pipe cleaners. So if it's a pipe cleaner work wreath, just remove the pipe cleaners. Also, whenever you're fluffing your ribbons, always pull them away from the center. I have found that to be the most effective way in creating... Okay, we're back. Sorry about that, you guys. And we're also alternating the colors too, so if we have a 1.5 inch next to 2.5 inch, we'll place another 2.5 inch on the opposite side. Now we're working our way around the outside.
Sheila said, think you just put me in the mood for Christmas. Skip the other holidays.
Yes, Christmas all the way. Give me a like if you guys love Christmas. Tanya, what's my favorite holiday?
Christmas.
That's a given. What's my favorite color, you guys? Let's see if you know.
Oh, I thought you were going to have me answer.
Well, you better know. I'm kind of nervous asking you. You forget everything. But how simple is that? 2 ribbons, 2 styles of mesh, one 10 inch and one 21 inch, a sign, and a wreath frame. And I'll hold it up in a second.
Renee and Chris said red.
That's right.
And Cheryl and Mary.
So this is kind of just like a rough fluff job, if you will. Whenever I fluff wreaths, I like to do it on the door right before I take pictures to see if there's any imperfections or any mistakes or anything that needs additional fluffing. So keep that in mind. It's not in its final state. And at this point, if you wanted to add some picks and some ornaments and decorations, you certainly can do so.
It's pretty.
Alright, sorry about losing connection real quick, you guys. But the only ornaments we have are these giant white ones, and I don't think these would work for it. But just to show you, if you had smaller white ornaments you could place around, I think that'd be very pretty. Alright, so if you like this wreath and want to continue seeing lives, please do me a huge favor and like and share this video. I greatly appreciate it, and it helps spread the word of my little business that we're trying to grow. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys learned something different and something new and are inspired for the Christmas season. I already saw one person, but alright, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and me and Tanya will see you very soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.